Here we go. All right. Well, good morning, everyone. Thomas Montgomery. It's a beautiful Thursday morning, September 9th, 2021, 7:59 a.m. Central. We get together with our distribution partners most weekday mornings at this time on a Zoom. We typically record it and circulate it for those that can't join us live. Today, what we're going to talk about is a concept of going fishing where the fish are. So the concept is specifically, there are already places, groups, organizations, platforms where small businesses are gathering, and some of those are specifically small businesses that are looking for capital. Now, some of them you'll see are a direct fit, some maybe a little more indirect, but we're going to go through a few of those and share those with you and then get your questions and feedback on going fishing where the fish are. So let's start, and it's shared here on the left. There is a network of investment networks. And if you do the drop down here, you can see that there's California. It's all ran by the same group. So the pages look almost the same, Florida, Illinois, and so forth. So it's kind of a matchmaking site for entrepreneurs looking for capital and investors. And you might say to yourself, well, I'm not necessarily either one of those, but theoretically, you could join for free as an investor, and then you would be able to access a big database of small businesses looking for capital. And so they're giving you a little bit of a sampling here, but we could click on one and you won't see a whole lot of information if you're not not enrolled. But for example, this group is looking for a minimum of 20 or a total of 25,000, minimum of 10,000. They're in Illinois, tells you a little bit. And again, if you actually sign up for free, then you'd be able to connect with them. So I've seen some of you really leverage this. Now, a couple things to consider. They may be not looking for debt. They may be looking for investor capital. So you would have to transition to say, hey, would you be willing to fill out a one-page funding proposal and let's see what we could get you? And of course, that goes all the way down to the red at the bottom. Using the funding proposal site, you can drive them over here, or you could drop their information in, referred by you, and then we can get them, we'll send them an Adobe application, get them a funding proposal typically within 24 hours. And that's really all that you would need to do. You would get paid off of that client. And for some of these that are looking for smaller amounts, it's a no-brainer. You know, with our access to capital program, we only guarantee up to 100,000. You're going to find some of these folks want a lot more. We can click on another. So this one wants a minimum of 100, but a total of 250. So what that means is they would accept multiple investors, but each investor needs to bring at least 100,000 to the table. So I realize that what you and I do is a little different than maybe what they're looking for, but what you can certainly do is easily, efficiently, and effectively connect with small businesses that are actively looking for capital. And so it's my understanding that once you join, regardless, and it's free to join, once you join, you'll be able to access leads from any of the states. So are there any questions before I move on the investment network, which maybe I shouldn't have listed them all out here. As long as you go to investmentnetwork.com, which with whatever state, you can do the drop down. Anyone have any questions on using this source as a source of leads? Okay. Similarly, and I won't show you websites and all of them, there's other investment networks. Another one is angelinvestmentnetwork.us, and that would be another opportunity similar to this. It's just not broken down by state. It's national, where this is broken down by state. 1 million cups is really interesting, and I'll bring it up. I was actually involved with the group, and I worked with the SBA. We were going to start, it's called a community. It might be easier to refer to it as a chapter or a location. We had started that process, and then I left the SBA and the pandemic happened. But the bottom line is 1 million cups, and you could form one in your community if you wanted, but that's not the point. There's already a bunch of them, and this is a current list of all of them currently in operation according to their website right now. I'm live on their website. There's a ton of these, and these are groups of small businesses that get together on a weekly basis. I believe they consistently still meet on Wednesday mornings. They have presenters. So, with this, you can go in and kind of network, but you would probably want to try to establish a more formal relationship with the group organizer and be known as a resource. But look at all of these. They call them communities. I call them chapters. I mean, my goodness, look at all those. And if there's not one in your area, you can create one. And that's what we were going to do in Tyler. I don't think it ever got formed. Let's see. No, it never got formed because of changes. But so 1 million cups is another example of where you could go fishing where the fish are. These are meetings filled with entrepreneurs. And what do we know? Most entrepreneurs are looking for capital. Any questions on 1 million cups? You can see the website, 1millioncups.com. Okay. Facebook groups is another option. So if you're on Facebook, you can go onto Facebook. You can search for small businesses, entrepreneurs, and so forth. And then typically what you want to do is try to connect with the organizer, maybe offer them some financial incentive and get them to help promote out to their sphere of influence. You could just try to drive people in again for a funding proposal, which is remarkably easy. Takes less than 1 minute of your time to do a little bit of data entry. Or you could do something more sophisticated and a revenue share with the group organizer. Meetup groups are another option. You can go to meetup.com and there's meetup groups all across the country. You can search by entrepreneurs, funding, small business, so forth. And then I also want to talk a moment about networking groups. I used to work for State Farm Bank, so I wasn't a property and casualty insurance agent. I wasn't licensed in that, but I worked for the bank and I promoted I went out and promoted and taught a financial literacy curriculum. And so at that time I joined BNI. If you're not familiar with BNI, now this is kind of a love it or hate it type of organization, I guess. So it does cost to join. Of course, we don't have any financial interest in it. We don't get paid if you join, but you pay to join, although you can go visit twice to any chapter. They have local chapters across the country. But once you join, then there are fees. They meet on a regular basis, but it's very, very effective in generating referrals. Now, those referrals, so while you may pay a little bit each month to be a member of BNI, the model there is you do not pay for referrals. And so it's called the giver's gain mentality. So you're looking for, because you're going to be working with lots of small businesses, and some of them are going to need accountants and lawyers and so forth. And then, of course, a lot of them need capital. So you would get exclusivity in that group for what you do. You would have a cost to be a member of BNI, but you don't pay for the referrals, and it works. It really works well. And you can go find a chapter. So let's play with that for a second. So we'll tap in here and let's see, we're going to begin now. Didn't really want to have to jump through these hoops. This is a little bit different, but that's all right. We'll go through and we just need to get to the zip code. Here we go. So let's look, for example, in Frisco, Texas, and we'll say, you can pick whatever category you want. That's putting me through the so we'll get a little information in here, and hopefully, used to not require this. Hopefully it will allow us. Yep, here we go. So now, once we've jumped through that many hoops, now we can go see the different groups that are meeting. These, before the pandemic, they met in person. With the pandemic, some of them went to remote, but a lot of, and you can see that says temporary meeting online here. But normally they like to meet in person, but there's all these different groups and you see the number of members. So let's go to this top left one, wealth builders, and we can, again, it used to let us click in there. Maybe they've changed a bit, but it used to be you could click in, you could see who the members are, the categories that they represent, and so forth. It looks like they are filtering a bit more. But what's the point? If you wanted to go to one, you can click on it, visit the chapter group, and you could schedule a visit to go learn more. The key is, if you're going to go to a chapter meeting, you're going to need to have clarity in your mind of what entity you represent. So this is really good for white label partners, and you'll want to have business cards with you because they're big about exchanging business cards. So with that being said, the point today, quite simply, is there's a number of places that we can go where small business owners, or in this case, I guess more key influencers, meet, that you can generate leads very quickly. We have the investment network, which we looked at over here, and they have them in a bunch of different states. We talked about the angel investment network briefly, 1 million cups. We showed you that there's locations all over the place, and you click on that, you can find out when they're meeting next, where they're meeting, and recent presentations you can apply to present. So you could go in and give your pitch. So that's all good. We talked about Facebook groups briefly, Meetup Groups, and then more formal networking groups like BNI. Ultimately, you got to decide, you got to submit people in, prospects in, as a white label client or as an affiliate. Either is fine. If you want to do the simplest thing, all you do is ask them, hey, if you've got about a minute or so, I can get just a little bit of information from you, and we can get you a funding proposal within 24 hours and see what type of capital you might qualify for now. And it would be as simple as just putting their information in here. You could put it in for them, or they could put it in. You'll want to let them know, as it states here in step 3, that they will be receiving an Adobe email with a secure application so we can get a funding proposal. So some of you are going crazy with this. I think Aaron, he's not on the call right now, but out of New York, he did right about 100 of these within a 2-day period already this month, September. Okay, so who has questions, comments, concerns regarding going fishing where the fish are? That's our topic today. Who has questions that I can help you with? Now, some of you have plenty of leads. So if if it's not broken, why fix it? But some of you are coming to us and saying, well, what are different ways to get leads? And of course, there's other ways than this. You can buy leads, you can organically generate your own. The point today was just simply plugging in where there's already leads meeting or key influencers meeting. That was the point. So does anyone have any questions regarding going fishing where the fish are? And again, you need to know what to do with the lead once you have it. So if you're wanting the simplest way, all you do is plug them in right here. Now, if you're a white label partner, what you know is that there's the white label page on the IIMFL website, and right beneath the YouTube videos, white label partners submit right here. So Pete's asking, so on the funding proposal, this is super simple. The only affiliate tracking is putting your name in here. That's it. White label, you're going to list your name here. Now, if you're an affiliate, we've also provided you a free replicated site. It's going to look just like this. So it's a little bit of a different pitch. Instead of a funding proposal pitch, it's the guaranteed $100,000 pitch. But once you go to careers, click on to become an affiliate, the system for free and quick, almost instantly, will generate a landing page. It looks just like this. And then it will be coded to you. So you wouldn't bring them to this page. What I'm saying is it will generate a page for you. It'll send you your unique link. It'll look just like this, and then it's coded to you. So I guess you're right, Pete. There's 3 ways that you could submit leads in. If you want to use the funding proposal pitch, it's here on fundingproposal.online. It's a little bit of a basic system, right? Because you got to remember to put your name in, but you probably forget that. If you're an affiliate, then you should have already received a free landing page, looks just like this, and then it is coded to you. So it doesn't we don't have to ask who referred you. And then they'll be receiving drip marketing and such to move forward. And then ultimately, if you're one of the leadership team, one of the white label partners, then you're going to submit them on the white label client submission form. So it's a little bit of a different entry point based upon what role you're wanting to play and what are you wanting to happen for the client. If you're pitching access to capital, hey, we can help you get a minimum $100,000 guarantee with no upfront cost, then your landing page works great. If your pitch is, hey, let's just find out, let's just get you a funding proposal, right? Let's just spend 2 minutes, within 24 hours, we'll get you a funding proposal. Fair enough. Then that would be this landing page. Many of you are developing your own landing pages, and so you can create your own pitch, your own message. And I shouldn't say a lot of you, a number of you are working with Scott, our Chief Marketing Officer, where he's helping you create that, tying into the CRM, doing the drip marketing, because we know not everyone will sign up right away. And so that's fine as well. But regardless of where you're going to submit your leads based upon your desired approach, what we've talked about today is relevant, is finding those leads. All right, and so David is considering becoming a white label partner. And so David, as a white label partner, you may very well have your own landing page to collect leads from, but ultimately to get them into our system, this is right here where all white label partners submit their leads. This plugs in, it's tied into our CRM. This is where you submit if you're submitting as white label. Now, there's some of you that are both white label and affiliates, and you kind of vacillate back and forth, which is fine. So if you just want to refer in and get paid, we call that the affiliate role. If you want to refer in and be involved with the client, know what's going on, communicate with the client, then that's the white label client form. And white label partners make about 5 times as much as affiliates, but they're involved with it as well. So some people like that, some people don't. All right, so with that, we will wrap it up. The key here is to understand that you're not going to generate income for yourself if you're not generating client relationships. And to get a client, you need to start with a lead. There's lots of different ways to generate leads. What we're talking about today is going where the leads already are, gathering, aggregating in person or online, or even reaching out to key influencers, as we talked about with the networking groups like BNI. Hopefully this was helpful in giving you some ideas of other places that you could find leads. The goal, of course, is to help 1 client a day. If you can enroll 1 client a day in the month of September, of course, you're going to generate a lot of income, but you'll also qualify for our incentive trip. And our incentive trip is we're paying for your airfare and your hotel to go to Clearwater Beach in October. So it's kind of like a leadership retreat. We'll all get together, be plenty of free time, but on Saturday evening of that specific weekend, we're going to buy everyone dinner at a really nice restaurant downtown Clearwater Beach and have a chance to socialize and network. The threshold to get there is super simple. 1 deal a day, 30 over the month of September. It doesn't have to be 1 per day, but by the end of September, we need to have 30 enrolled. And we've gone through all the detailed requirements before, but it's very, very attainable. Anyone with minimal competency can enroll 30 a month because the demand is there. All right, so we'll close out on this. David's asking, how do they get the agreement? So it depends. If you're bringing them through the white label program, then you're presenting to them your agreement, David. If you're playing the role of an affiliate and feeding them through either your landing page that would look just like this, or on the funding proposal, we take care of sending them the agreement and helping them get signed up. So again, that's the difference. Affiliates feed in, get paid, and they do nothing else. They're not involved. White label partners are actually controlling the terms of the relationship. And I think that's pretty well stated on this page. So if any of you are considering becoming a white label partner, or if you have become one, and if you've not gone through these training videos, they're really important to understand the processes and how things work. It's not just promotional, it's instructional. And then the details of everything's on this page. I think pretty much everything that you would need to know to decide to become a white label partner and or to implement as a white label partner is here. But the short answer to your question, David, is if you're feeding them as an affiliate, we take care of getting them contracted. If you're a white label partner acting in that capacity, then they contract with you, and then you submit them in on the form. And the question about mentors. So yes, so any of you that are white label partners, of course, we have this training once a day, approximately 20 times a month. You can schedule individual appointments with myself or with Scott. Scott's really good at helping you set up the IT side, the system, the drip marketing, the lead generation, lead conversion strategies, and then I can certainly help you with whatever you need. So we are all here to assist you in being successful. But the goal, without a doubt, is to have white label partners that are generating 1 conversion a day, on average 30 in a month. That qualifies for the trip. With our white label agreements, we say you've agreed to at least generate 2 a week, 8 a month. And so that would allow you to remain in good standing. All right. Thanks, everyone. We'll see you soon. Hope this is helpful. Talk to you tomorrow. Bye-bye.